even though the modern Buddhism in practice is called a religion, the original teaching of the Buddha was not purely a religion, because there is an anti-religion in the original teachings of the Buddha. The word religion is derived etymologically from a Latin word called religare. Religare is to bind. There is another etymology called religio. Religio in Latin means obligation, bond, love. In both these words, there is a binding. Even the religion called Islam is defined as the complete submission to the will of God called Allah, the Almighty Allah. Allahu Akbar in Arabic. The English word religion comes from, as I mentioned earlier, from the Latin word religare and also the Latin word called religio. Both words contain the idea of being bound. Therefore, religion in the old sense, the Middle Age religion, is being bound to the Almighty God. In fact, in the Middle Ages, religion was called or meant monastic vows. We are bound to monastic discipline, monastic laws, rules and regulations. In this sense, religion is a bondage, being bound, free from free movement, a bondage. As I mentioned earlier, Islam means complete submission to the will of God. In religion, we are controlled by outside forces. The main outside force is identified as the will of the Almighty God, Allah, Jehovah or Brahma. But Buddhism is a revolutionary religion, an anti-religion, where freedom is the basis of that religion. Freedom of thinking, freedom of vision. That means a vision not bound to any preconceived notion, to any knowledge, to any dogma. It is a complete freedom of thinking, freedom of insight. In fact, in the sutta called Parada Sutta, that is found in the Anguttara Nikaya, volume 5, at page 82. On the page 90, you get an utterance of the Buddha. It goes as Mahasamuddo ekaraso, lona raso. Evamo ko paharada, I am Dhammavinayo ekaraso, vimuttu raso. As the great ocean, the sea, is salt everywhere and anywhere, so is the Buddha's teaching, the Buddha's message. Its basic nature, like the salty taste of sea, is vimutti raso. Lona raso means salty taste. Vimutti raso means taste of freedom. Throughout his teaching for 45 years, Buddha emphasized on this freedom, especially the freedom of thinking, which is well explained in the Kalama Sutta that you find in Anguttara Nikaya, volume 1, page 336. The same ideas are found in the Badhya Sutta, that is in the Anguttara Nikaya, volume 2, page 370, where the Buddha advised never to believe anything without a perfect inquiry into it. Free inquiry is the basis of Buddha's teaching, Buddha's vision. Even at his last moment, as recorded in the Mahaparinibbana Sutta. Mahaparinibbana Sutta you find in the Digha Nikaya. Buddha said, when he was questioned, while he was about to pass away, the unenlightened disciple asked the Buddha, whom are we going to follow after we pass away to get enlightened? Buddha's words were, in his own words as recorded in the Mahaparinibbana Sutta, Atta Deepa Viharata. That is, be light unto yourself. Atta Sarana. Be yourself your helper. That means he advised self-help, not the help of others. That idea comes next, which says emphatically, Na Anya Sarana. Don't follow anybody. Don't be bound to anybody else to be enlightened. Because enlightenment comes after self-investigation. Investigation into oneself. And that self-investigation can be done by oneself alone. Nobody else can do it. You have to investigate into yourself to realize the hidden treasures of nirvana. The nirvana, the ultimate truth or ultimate bliss hidden in you. And that capacity to realize that, the Buddhahood, within you. The capacity to be enlightened and the taste of enlightenment can be separated. The Buddha is not different from Nibbana. Nibbana is the final bliss of emancipation. It is the nature of the final capacity called Buddhahood. That is why in the Vakkali Sutta, Buddha said, Yo dhammam pasati so mam pasati. Whoever realizes the Dhamma of Nibbana, the bliss of Nibbana, realize the Buddhahood, realize myself. I am not this physical body that is going to decay and die. The Buddha in me is invisible. It is a realization. It is my inner spirit that can be realized only by one's own insight. That is why Buddha emphasized on freedom. That means in the original early Buddhism as taught by the Buddha, you are not bound by any rules and regulations, any rituals, any beliefs, any dogmas. The final realization of the ultimate bliss, the ultimate truth, can be done by oneself. Although I use the word can be done, it is not doing anything, but by not doing. It is a self-realization. That is why Buddha referred to his enlightenment in his first sermon called Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta as Aloko Udapadi, the dawn of light. It is not done by anybody, it happens. The rising of the sun, nobody is doing it, it happens. It is automatically. Similarly, enlightenment is also automatic manifestation of the inner bliss within you. Not by any effort, by no effort. As long as you make an effort to be enlightened, there is self in you. There is a desire in you to be enlightened. You are bound by the desire to the subject called enlightenment or the ultimate bliss. That is why Buddha said, Sabba danan dhamma danan jinati in the Dhammapada. Giving up, freeing yourself from bondage is the final dana, final giving up. You can get enlightened only at the moment when you get disattached from the attachment to the supreme bliss of nirvana. That means not being bound even to nirvana. This way, as freedom is the basis of Buddhism, the way of Buddhism to the supreme bliss, it is an anti-religion. As I mentioned earlier, religion means bondage, being bound to an almighty being called God, Allah, Jehovah, Brahma, etc. There is no such bondage taught by the Buddha. It is only the complete freedom from all bondages that one can become Buddha. That is why the Buddha is called Bhagava. Bhagna means, Bhagna is the shattering of bondage, breaking the shackles of bondage. That is why when we respect Buddha, we say, Itipiso Bhagava. Buddha is called Bhagava. Bhagava means one who is completely free, who has achieved complete freedom, realized complete freedom, freedom from all bondages. Therefore, bondage means the basis of all other religions except Buddhism, where freedom from bondage is the basis of Buddhism. It is being completely free of all bondages that you can become enlightened.